Deja vu is defined as the illusion of having previously experienced something that actually being encountered for the first time, or even the sense of feeling that of having previously experienced something that really has been encountered before. The drivers of the Bootleg Racing League Late Model Series are experiencing it this season as a familiar face sits atop the point standings. Coming within a hog's breath of taking back-to-back titles last season, James Lowe is a perfect 2 for 2 in this season, nabbing wins at North Wilkesboro and Kevin Harvick's Kern Raceway. Not even the quick kid, Aiden Young, could stop the champ from running away and taking another win on the season, leaving the rest of the field to do more head scratching on the drive south. This week, the Stars and Cars look to stop Lowe's run at a perfect season at a place Hollywood loves to visit, the historic Irwindale Speedway, also known for cooking up a mean race on Turkey Day. Now, as you can tell, I'm not soup, so no tangents during this intro, but sit down, strap up, pull that lever back on the lazy boy, and get ready for an action-packed 100 laps around the outer half mile. Coming to you atop this southwestern California gem, it's Jeremy Gridlock Scott alongside Zach Shaggy Chapman with the boss man Lowell Jewell giving you the pictures and sound in color and Memorex. Well, last weekend, Zach, it was one of those races where once again we saw James Lowe get back up to his old antics.
Yeah, and this is going to be a racetrack, not to skip ahead too far here, Jeremy, but this is one where you're going to have to keep an eye on that 99 again tonight. I think it's going to get real racy here tonight, so I know how we do the invert. James should have no problem, and maybe, an advantage to watching some of those other guys mix it up in front, dice it up. I mean, you know how it is, Jeremy. The bottom's going to be open. People are going to want to run it, but if you commit down there too long, going to heat up those right side tires, and that's when I think you're going to see the guys on the outside really take off. And obviously I think we'll be seeing some slide jobs tonight here, not on the dirt, but we're going to see guys really send it in there and slide it up tonight. It is going to be awesome.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be awesome. And, I think that the top line might come in. Look, I'm a top line opportunist, as you all know from watching multiple races of this. But I have a feeling that this is one of those races because it's not a steep bank. It's kind of that middle of the road bank where that top of that middle line is really going to come into play, I would say, probably within the first 25 laps.
Yeah. I mean, definitely the middle line for sure. But I mean, you can kind of float that up here as the marbles start to roll up. And I think as long as you're not on the bottom, even if you're running that middle, you kind of assert your dominance. I just don't think you want to allow a car to get on you on the outside tonight. I think that's just a no-no. You want to kind of force them to take the peak to the inside. A bit easier said than done, though, Jeremy. You know the deal, man.
Exactly. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. 100 laps around here. We're just about set to finish off practice. Interesting to note, and I know the practice it means absolutely nothing here, but a couple drivers running over the 100-lap race. So some drivers will have 200 or more laps in the day. As we take a look at the point standings so far, it's been interesting to note how the gap that James Lowe has over Adam Shane. It's 80 points ahead of 73. Then you go down to Chris Davis with 70 points. Double Deuce Bruce with the double 6 on his tally. Ruben Altice, 62 points. Jeffrey Harden with 60 points. Kenny Allen and Tom Hilbert, they're tied for 7th with 60 points. And look at this, Aiden Young in the top 10, 59 points, alongside Todd Cousins.
Yeah, and, I mean, I may be a little biased here, the young gun. I'm not sure if you knew this, Jeremy. He is my teammate over there at Gambler, but he's a guy who, man, you can't be surprised. He's the silent assassin. We interview him. It's hard to get more than 5 or 6 words out of him, but he knows how to manipulate that race car. Going to be another guy to keep your eye on here tonight.
Yeah, Aiden Young always a threat no matter what series he races in. Glad to have you with us here on this Saturday night as the cars are going to start gritting up here after practice ends. Kurt Smith, the passes on the 18.074. Well, you know how we do it. We take the top 13 from last week and then we flip them around. So with the cars gritting up, your grid looks like this. It's Tom Hilbert on the front row alongside Jeff Kemper in the 8.
Row 2 to the inside, Steve Hilbert in the 52 machine. To the top shelf, the 7 of Chris Davis.
Well, the brothers Hilbert on the inside. That'll make for some interesting racing. Adam Shane in the double deuce. Bruce Pearson make up rows 3.
Kurt Smith to the inside of row 4 to the top shelf, Todd Liston.
Kyle Feemster and Aiden Young will round out your top 10 from row 5.
Row 6 to the inside, James Lowe to the top shelf, the Lipper.
As we take a look at row 7, it's John Wilson, the Canadian Goose, alongside the Caveman. Welcome back, Trey Bloom.
Row 8 to the inside, Mike Holloway to the top shelf, Ruben Altis.
And of course, I'll round out the field with Jeffrey Harden and Alan Wanmaker in row 9, and shotgun on the field, it's Benny Ellison. So field working their way off the start line real quick. Any final thoughts going into this 100-lapper?
I just think, I mean, obviously the brothers Hilbert, you mentioned them there. They got to work together here. I think it's going to be really important. You mentioned that middle, maybe more of a top so later, but I don't think they want to get bunched up on the bottom, and I think it's important they work together here, try to get up front, maybe just set the pace here, run their own race.
And that's half the key as we see the field working their way down the front straightaway. One to go at the line. So we'll see what this race has to offer here, and who races straight to the bottom. We've got 19 cars who have checked in for today's race. Great to have you with us here on the Virtual Grip Network as we are set to go running here at Irwindale Speedway. It's a shame that it's no longer in real life, but it's great that we have games like this to keep it going. Pace car pulls off. Tom Hilbert, Jeff Kemper are on the turns 3 and 4. It's Tom's start to call, and he's going to call it early. Green flag is out. He's opened up to a 1-2 car length lead already as we go through turns 1 and 2. Field works their way. So far, so good as we're side by side from about 3rd, 4th on back.
Yeah, really surprised there, but I guess the top 2 rows taking my warning, just kind of line up, get in line. But we do have a little bit of a battle here brewing for 3rd is, you know who, Mr. Aggressive, Chris Davis. I mean, he's got to live up to the name here.
He really does as they work their way around turns number 3, turn number 2, I should say, going into turn number 3. It's still Tom Hilbert over Jeff Kemper. Steve Hilbert sits there in 3rd, but watch out for Adam Shane. He's on the inside of Chris Davis, and he's going to take that 4th spot for the time being. But how long will that last? Is that high train listening to us a little early as most of the field's up high?
Yeah, I mentioned, I think you got maybe 3 to 4 laps down there, Jeremy, before he really starts paying for it. So he's made the pass so far on Davis, but as you can see, nowhere to go. Steve Hilbert right there. I mean, if he wants to get it done, he's going to have to do it quick.
Chain up 2 so far as he works his way into the top 3. Now sets his sights on 2nd place, Jeff Kemper. Of course, look who goes very low. It's a double deuce, Bruce Pearson, as he tries to make it 3 wide for position. Thinks better of it. Of course, we know in this series you don't want to go 3 wide. That's already asking for trouble. But everybody from 2nd on back, side by side.
Yeah, and the double deuce looking low here, Jeremy. It makes me rethink everything I've said from start to finish, because Bruce never wanted to use up the stuff here and get real aggressive. And if he feels like he can run that bottom middle right now and not abuse his stuff, I mean, that's why he's doing that. So maybe I've been wrong here.
You know what? Sometimes the drivers love to prove us wrong. Todd Liston also down low. Still getting used to that new paint scheme that he has, but it looks oh so sharp as he goes around the inside of Steve Hilbert. That's for 5th place as it comes across the line. Of course, also look who's down low. It's Kyle Feemster in the 14. He is up to 8th. James Lowe only up 1 spot, but he might try something here as he saw him all over the back of Kurt Smith.
And Kurt right now, I mean, he's one of those other guys, I hate to sound like the broken record, but Kurt's not racing right now, Once lap 50's on the board, Kurt will worry about it a little bit. He's just got to make sure he's keeping himself in pace with that leader here. Doesn't want to let him get too far away, but Kurt doing what he needs to do here in the early.
And James Lowe already side by side with Kurt Smith for that 9th spot. Gets it at the line, now sets himself up for Chris Davis, Mr. Aggressive, going around the inside. So it's a 2-for-1 special for the champ. He is up 2 spots, now setting himself up for 3. So already the march up to the front starts for James Lowe. And
obviously, we're all kind of, is there 3 wide there? Look at the 7 going, shut the door here. Oh boy. Mr. Excitement, look at that there, Jeremy. What more can you ask for?
Yeah, Mr. Aggressive getting all aggressive, trying to go 3 wide there at the early part of the race. I've got to say, at least somebody's going to get excited since Soup's not here. But nonetheless, it's still Tom Hilbert up front, half-second advantage between he and Jeff Kemper. We're watching at the back. It looks like the 14 of Kyle Feemster trying to go with the 87 listed as they go down the front straightaway. Feemster has the advantage through turn 1 as he closes in on getting up one more spot. He's up 4 already to 5th. As Pearson, we go spinner at the back. We're under caution.
Yeah, first caution right here. Can't tell who went around. I believe it was Jeff.
Looks like Kemper's fallen back 16 spots, so that's that. We'll get a replay here in just a little bit. Got caught a little bit of a glitz, and yeah, it looks like that the Kemper got Harden got Kemper got turned there by Steve Hilbert in the 52.
Or Adam Shane. Adam Shane.
Oh, Adam Shane. Well,
yep.
Adam Shane's up to 4th right now, so let's
yeah, he had
go ahead.
pulled down to the inside, but yeah, that's a tough break. He just floats up to that 79 machine. I'm not sure. Look at there you go. 79 drift down to the inside. I think he loses those 4 spots, Jeremy, by trying to do the right thing. Come to a spot, maybe try to straighten him out, but he was just.
Well, let's see if we can pull up a driver. Let's pull up the number 14 of Kyle Feemster, if it'll let me. There we go. Kyle, it's Jeremy and Shaggy up in the booth. Well, you're up 5 spots so far. Looks like the car's pretty racy tonight.
Yeah, hey guys, good evening. I've never been at this track before, so just trying to feel it out. I feel like there was some track position is going to be really important when the tires wear out. It's going to be really hard to pass if you stay on the top. So maybe get some positions early and hope the tire deck falls our way.
Yeah, that being said, I mean, you said track position, Kyle. How important is it to get to the outside? I mean, obviously you can get some passes down on the bottom, but it seems like that's not going to help that long-term tire wear.
Yeah, it's going to be more important later in the race when your right front's going. So right now it's not as important if you can keep your rights on the white line, on the white dotted line. But when the right front wears out, it's going to be difficult.
Hey, you're doubling up, Kyle. Go get him, brother.
Feemster rolls off from row 2. Bruce Pearson and Tom Hilbert on the front row. So the Wiley veterans will come down to the green. Hilbert's start to call as he has led every lap so far. Green flag is back out. Nice little jump out of 25 to Hilbert as they're side by side through the back trying to sort themselves out as drivers now are starting to figure out which line their car is the best in, if it's up high or if it's down low.
Here, second and third, they rotated. Adam Shane had a good jump. Now you see battle for the lead, man. Who was that? The double deuce. I love that entry there into 3, Jeremy. Did you see that kind of using the apron, helping rotate that car? I mean, the double deuce is doing it his own way.
Yeah, you know what? Over the past couple of seasons, Pearson been trying different things, and it's really been working for him. I almost thought he was going to adore Hilbert, but at the line, 0.05 seconds separates first and second for the time being. It looks like Pearson's car is really happy in that line. It's just a matter of getting around Tom Hilbert as they work their way again through 3 and 4. So far, so good. There's James Lowe up 7 spots to 4. So now it's a matter of Bruce Pearson getting out to the front and before James Lowe does.
Now Adam Shane's starting to fight back on the outside. You see him take the peak on the outside of the double deuce. Got a big run down the backstretch here. Bruce is down there for this is about 4 laps in a row. This is where he's going to start to get some warmth in that right front tire. But, man, Jeremy, to my surprise, he is not going away. I mean, that dog is not backing down at that point. His car in the wall. Couldn't tell who that was. On the outside, that yellow car.
Now that's going to be the
3 and 4.
Oh, I was just going to shout out Liston as he wallops the wall a little bit. He's fallen back all the way outside the top 10 to 12th. So we'll see what he does there. But Pearson gets the lead from Hilbert, but Hilbert holding him back just a little bit as well.
And definitely, well, as you mentioned, battle for the lead. Bruce now taking a peek on the bottom of this. Definitely has a little bit of right front damage, but almost some contact there for the lead, Jeremy. And I think Bruce got Tom to maybe check up a little bit. Now Tom in the outside wall. He's going to lose a bunch.
He's going to lose a bunch, and that puts James Lowe into second place right now, as Pearson doing all he can to open up a gap to get away from James Lowe. But it may be too little too late. Shane and Feemster are side-by-side for that third spot, as we see Feemster diving in as well.
You heard Kyle mention, you know, I mean, the right front maybe not as important now as it will be later. I think that means he's planning on a caution here from now to the end, Jeremy. You know, we've been here plenty of times. No caution guaranteed. If he goes too hard and has to, you know, nurse this thing 5 or so laps to bring back that right front tire temperature, that could be a big deal here. So he's got to pace himself, even though he's quick.
And, you know, once those tires go off, there's no saving them when they do finally fall off. And look at this battle back here for 7th on back. Kurt Smith, Trey Bloom, Ruben Altice, and John Wilson all involved in this little scrap here, as the Canadian Goose looking pretty good on the inside of the Quiet Man. But everybody so far so good. And I like how Trey Bloom has made the numbers bigger for us, because it's a lot easier to see now.
I didn't know. Was he making you guys get the binoculars out in an old paint job? I wasn't familiar with that one. He was making you work.
You know what? Look, I'm to the point now where I've got to have at least 125% text on my computer. So, yes, he's making me work for it.
Dude, oh man, it's tough. I'm in my 30s. I'm right there with you. It's too early for that eyesight to go like that, but maybe not too early to battle for the lead here once again. Oh man, I thought James was going to take a peek on the inside. Oh. James, he doesn't want to waste any time here. We know how important it is to just set that pace. And Bruce, he's going to have to drive his you-know-what off here, Jeremy.
Oh, I like the fact that Feemster is really catching up. He's got the fastest lap of the race, by the way, 18.293. So it's Pearson, Lowe, Feemster, 1, 2, 3. Feemster is just like a bad stink that won't go away to Lowe. It's a Lowe. He is caught up to Pearson, but he's just going to bide his time and see what happens. Now, the thing that worries me is I don't think Feemster has the knowledge of how quick these tires can go off, in spite of us being working lap 31.
Yeah, I mean, you never realize how much you're overdriving that car until, you know, you get to about that lap 30 green flag mark, and guys in front of you who you were just keeping up with are starting to pull away now, and you realize, man, maybe I was overdriving corner entry. And I mean, Jeremy, you hit the nail on the head perfectly. Once you go over that limit, the tires are gone. There's no coming back, unless you want to make that trip down pit road, and you know, we can't do that. So you're done for. You got to run what you're promising.
Yeah, no, exactly. If your tires fall off, you are done for the night. As your top three, they've opened up a big world of hurt over the rest of the field. Here's Chris Davis trying to hold off the 69 of Aiden Young. That's one driver who really has surprised me, because I thought he would be the antidote to James Lowe and try and catch up to him. Ooh, a little bit of a high slide there. Shuts the door on the defending champ, Kurt Smith, as Smith falls back in line. So top of the side of the line. Those are where you need to be right now, as James Lowe takes a look inside. Double deuce Bruce Pearson biding his time, working lap 35, coming to 36.
No, and you know, right now you can stick up for Aiden a little bit and say, well, hey, James is getting held up. There's no real reason to get around and start getting on it. But if that 99 gets out front, I mean, you mentioned Aiden. I mean, he's one of the guys who sometimes maybe lays in the weeds a little too long and has a little too much left in the tank at the end. We'll have to see if he can pull the right number. But I think Jeremy's 3.3 seconds back. If you're in that second pack, it is time to start going. I mean, I don't want to jinx us, but it's got all the feelings of a long green flag run.
It really does. Benny also makes his way up to 14th. By the way, Tom Hilbert, if we were to end this race now, your provisional pole sitter going into next week. Oh, Wanamaker dives down low, tries and gets around Hilbert. He does. And of course, Hilbert not going to let him by. That's Steve Hilbert as he gets back up to 15th. Right behind him, now that's Chris Hazlip in the 93. By the way, I see Brandy Harden saying good luck, baby, to Jeffrey Harden sitting there in 18th. He's going to need all the luck he can, because these top three of Pearson, Lowe, and Feemster have just decided to make Irwindale their own personal school.
Yeah, I mean, what they're doing, honestly, they're all under the blanket. It's kind of inappropriate here. I mean, how close they are, and it won't be a matter of time until Kyle, I think, really tries to insert himself into this thing. I mean, James is starting to get aggressive. See the 99 take a peek low. Kyle is going to have to try to get that nose to the outside and maybe catch James sleeping here and go for a 2-for-1. I think that's going to be his best move.
As long as they keep their hands above the blanket, I don't care what they do under there. Here comes Feimster to the inside of low, thinks better of it off of turn number 4. He's going to tuck back in, and I've got to say, Feimster's running faster laps than both Lowe and Pearson. I can't believe I'm saying that, but then again, we all know how good Lowe treats his equipment. Pearson, I've got to say, over the past couple of seasons, for his credit, also has been doing the same at keeping his equipment under him.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Kyle's been doing it intentionally here. Is this time not as much, and now he starts to float up to the outside wall. Last time by, he kind of diamonded off it too, and leaders didn't take that way. And I'm wondering if, maybe cranking a little too much wheel into that, using the diamond line, or if, maybe we're seeing some trail braking. He's hooking himself up real nice with some extra rear brake rotating that thing. But right now, look, I jinxed this. Second caution flag here.
And that's going to be Chris Hazlip who's involved in that one as we are on board with our leader, Bruce Pearson. Man, he has some of the coolest paint schemes. We'll get a replay of what exactly happened there to cause the second yellow of the night. And indeed, it is the 93 of Chris Hazlip involved with, I'm going to say, that's going to be Jeffrey Harden. Yeah, just comes up and runs into him like Harden's not even there.
Yeah, not sure if he thought, Jeffrey, obviously, he's not, so he doesn't have to get up to that wall. Nobody's forcing him to. He's running about that middle off. I'm not sure if maybe the lipper thought he was going to move up the racetrack. Jeff definitely there.
You know what? Let's bring up Jeffrey Harden. I don't want to talk about that incident. That's not the most important thing. What is the most important thing is, Jeff, I noticed yesterday on the Discord that you have a new paint scheme this weekend.
Yeah, I do. I'm honoring a friend of mine, Sherry Scroggins, who's battling breast cancer at the moment.
Oh, that's fantastic. It's a sharp paint scheme. Let's be real here. We see a lot of different paint schemes in October, and it's hard to top that one because you've got, once again, you take the colors and match them so well.
Thank you. I don't know, just a gift, I guess.
No, not to throw you under the bus, Jeremy, but the most important thing in that man's life is Brandy. And she's pretty important to our chat boxes. So we can't forget about Jeffrey's wife. She's a pretty important thing.
And look, I know I'm second, third, fourth fiddle, but nonetheless, yeah, Brandy giving you a shout out here in the YouTube chat earlier, so we made sure to do that.
Yeah, she's and they're getting ready. We gotta meet a friend of mine I haven't seen in like 20 years. He's been living overseas in Thailand.
All right, well, good luck. Go get him, and we'll talk to you later.
All right, thanks, guys. Have a good broadcast.
Jeffrey Harden rolling off 17th. Hopefully, we'll see if he can get up towards the front of the pack. It's been a while since we've seen him up near the front.
Yeah, well, maybe for you, I'm used to seeing that. I'm new over here on Saturday. I'm used to seeing him up front up towards the front. This is not a surprise for me. As look, a little early start. We're back underway here. They're ready to play.
Yeah, Bruce Pearson already up there. And by the way, Feimster got the jump on Low, but Low's going to go down low for that second spot, actually up high. Feimster's going to try that low line. This is quite rare that we see somebody try and battle the likes of James Lowe. Feimster has a nose up front. He's going to get that second place.
Yeah, we saw him reeling him in, trying to make the move earlier when the three walked away, and now he's let the tires cool down. Got it to work on the bottom, slides up in the middle, and we got a new man in P2. What does James Lowe decide to do here? Does he lay in the weeds? Does he try and strike now, Jeremy?
We're at the halfway point of the race, so nonetheless, I think Lowe might just be saving his equipment, biding his time, letting Feimster burn off those Hoosiers as Bruce Pearson now is next in sight for Kyle Feimster. Look at that already between 3 and 4. Gets the nose out front, but it only counts across the line where Pearson gets it again.
You got to love it. That's another one where I thought we may see a little contact, and if you're that guy on the bottom, you got to force him up. You got to make him feel uncomfortable. And we're seeing James Lowe do exactly that now as he battles on the inside for P2.
James Lowe finding that low line once again as he tries to get around Feimster. Feimster, though, wants to get back to that bottom. This high line seems to be his kryptonite around here as Lowe gets it nose out front. He's going to partially take second place, but Feimster able to muscle around.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously we get caught up in that battle. But how much fun is Bruce having out front, Jeremy? I mean, they're side by side behind him. This is the best thing possible for that double deuce here. I mean, they're taking up both lines, battling to the absolute limit. And Bruce, I mean, he's got that thing on cruise control.
No, he really does. He's opened up about 0.2 of a second gap, and now we see James Lowe finally sliding his way in front of Feimster. How much longer is it going to be till the 14 decides he wants to get back up there? Here comes Chris Davis to the inside on 3 and 4. He gets third for the time being, but slides up almost into Feimster and thinks better of it, tucks right back in.
Seeing Chris pop up in there, I know you guys said Mr. Aggressive, but I do go back and forth with Soup. I like Mr. Excitement. I'm a glass half full kind of guy, and it may be a little aggressive, but at the end of the day, Jeremy, it is exciting, and I expect some excitement now that Chris is getting that nose here in the picture. I mean, they get side by side in front, allow Davis to make it 3 wide. He's the guy who's willing to do it.
No, here's the thing. I don't think they're going to go 3 wide, but here comes Feimster once again to the inside. And because Pearson's backed up just a little bit, that blocks off Lowe from making any charge. They're leaning on each other going into turn 1. Feimster has that position for now. He needs to try and slide up and cut off Lowe. Not going to do it as Lowe tries to make that high line work once again for him. It's so tough. Feimster is just so darn good on the bottom. Feimster almost gets into the front of Lowe, but still able to stay up in second place. You're on board with Chris Davis as he watches this battle for second place. Now it's Lowe's turn to take that bottom line, but he's not going to do it just yet as the double deuce goes high to try and protect the lead, but how long will it be? Because Feimster so good on that bottom line tonight.
Yeah, like I say, it's unbelievable. I mean, the guys in second and third right now, this is no shot at Bruce. But I think they're the quickest cars on the racetrack, and due to the fact that they're battling each other here, as we do have a battle for the lead, Kyle takes a peek to the inside, but if James goes up here and starts battling with Kyle and lets Bruce get around the outside here, I don't know, Kyle looking for it, he's going to send it. Big move.
Oh, that was absolutely fantastic. Textbook move out of Kyle Feimster. He slides up in front of Pearson, takes the lead, comes across the line, move the 14 of Kyle Feimster to the lead on lap 62. Feimster now has to worry about James Lowe. He's got to try and protect that bottom because Lowe now has that second place as Pearson falls back just a little bit, but Pearson tries to go to the inside. That's about the lowest we've seen anybody try and make a move. He's not going to make it happen.
Look, and Jeremy, you know this as well as I do. No disrespect to the guys out front, but here, under 40 to go now. The pay window is just starting to crack open. I mean, guys are going to start pushing to the limit here where we'll have to see what is Kyle made of. You talked about James before. We know, I mean, he's a tire god. He will whisper to those things. He will keep them all 100 laps. Can Kyle do the same thing? Because I'm watching him start to struggle here, Jeremy. It looks like he's sliding up the corner exit, and James is just absolutely reeling him in.
Well, that's what I was talking about. When does Kyle Feimster figure out how the tires fall off? It could be now. It could be 20 laps from now. Davis trying to go around the inside of double deuce and does not do it. Tucks right back in. Here comes Chris Davis, Mr. Aggressive, trying to get into that podium position as the lead heats up for between Lowe and Feimster. Lowe has it for now.
Yeah, and Kyle drove it in a little deep, almost got in the outside wall, and James, that's going to be his easiest pass of the night. And not going to write off the 14 yet, but man, that 99, he is smooth as silk right now, and it looks like he's got a brand new right front tire on that thing, Jeremy.
Well, I'm not going to jinx it, but he's going for 3 in a row. It took him 2/3 of the race to get up to the point. Let's see if Feimster has anything for the champ. Of course, have a slower car. That's Hazel in the 93. Feimster slides up coming off turn number 4. Yeah, I'm starting to wonder if those tires are falling off because he is losing ground quickly. It's almost like an anchor was dropped out behind him as see Hazel up high off of turn number 2. He's going to go down low and let the leaders come around as Chris Davis takes that third spot.
Yeah, with a heck of a send, but the double do is going to counter back underneath here. And does he park it up in the middle of 1 and 2? No, he's going to leave a lane, and I think advantage 7 car here, but does he have enough time or higher left to go flirt up front with James? I mean, James, he's all but out of the picture now. If you look at Davis, 1.3 seconds up the road.
Well, still plenty of time left. Anything can happen. That flag we don't like might come out here shortly as well. Trey Bloom, as he works his way out into 8th place, trying to close in on the Canadian Goose. John Wilson in 7th place. Right now, John Wilson actually the fastest lap of the race with an 18.222. So a good showing for him as we've got 1 car off. Not sure who that was, but deciding to. It was Shane, okay, who's slow there as he just looks like he might just have a problem, period, as he slides off the apron and into the grass. Not sure if you saw a blade of grass that was not cut right, but he slowly makes his way into the pits.
You know, some people, Jeremy, this may be it. You know, when I race, sometimes I don't have money to cover my pit pass, so I go out there and cut the grass. That may have been what he was doing tonight.
Innovative ways. You know what? Some of us just actually work so we can get into the racetrack. James Lowe's opening up a world of hurt on the rest of the field, but we're still watching this battle between Aiden Young, Ruben Altice, Benny Ellison. Back of the pack, also you got Mike Holloway in different paint scheme this weekend as he's trying to hold off Alan Wanamaker and get around Benny Ellison. Different drivers in different paint schemes this week, so it's kind of hard to see who is what, but still some great battles all throughout. I believe it's going to be Aiden Young going around the inside of Ruben Altice. Mike Holloway, oh, a little bit of a bump there as Holloway tries to tap Ellison out of the way. He does. I thought Ellison was going to lose it there.
Yeah, I was going to say, he didn't try, he did, and Ellison made a heck of a save. As you see, he's maybe still paying for it right up against the outside wall through 1 and 2. Gonna have to let the tires come back to him here for a lap or so. I know that's not what he wants to hear, is he wants to move it on the outside. Right now, really not much of a place to go for the 45, as you mentioned. Now, Aiden had the advantage on the outside, but Ruben Altice, I think he's going to get the job done here on Aiden Young. He left him a lane.
He really did. As now the quiet man Ruben Altice goes up to 9th, Young to 10th. But here comes Alan Wanamaker to the inside of Aiden Young. It's a strange situation to see the young kid in is Wanamaker. He's really come out of his own as well in that yellow cue ball number 9. Down the outside also is Mike Holloway. They're fixing to get bent here back from 9th all the way on, but that's why you see the quiet man making his way up through the field.
Yeah, and you hopped on the 9 ball there. It's been amazing to kind of just like, I know I haven't been broadcasting, just to see the results. And Alan, when he came into this thing a couple seasons ago, really struggled, you know, with the 100 laps and the tire wear, and the strides that 9 ball has made have just been phenomenal. Alan Wanamaker always up there flirting with top 10s, top 5s.
Well, here comes the driver looking to get away his top 10. It's our previous interviewer, Jeffrey Harden, up to 11th, up 6 spots. Highest lap of the race, of course, is James Lowe, up 10 to the point, as he's opened up a 1.5 second lead here. So he's trying to work his way through lap traffic. Got to get around Kemper here. I think he has. We'll see him in picture here shortly, but you know, that 36 of Harden trying to close in and get within that top 10. Well, Feemster has fallen back to 1.6 seconds, so yeah, the tires have fallen off. Feemster trying to hold off Chris Davis in the 7th. 0.3 of a second separate the two drivers with about 20 to go.
Yeah, and Kyle almost brushes the wall that time coming out of 4. I think he's starting to feel the heat here as Chris inching closer absolutely every lap. But now, Jeremy, you know as well as I do, you've watched these guys race. We're in that stage where, yeah, you can have a faster race car, but got 82 laps on this set of tires. I mean, it's one thing to catch a guy, a whole nother thing to get around here. So we'll have to see if Chris has enough left to get the spot.
Yeah, your car could be set up for lap 80, but your tires may be set up for lap 60. at the most. It's just a matter of how you handle. Look at the puff of smoke there as you're seeing the field on the left-hand side of your screen, the 99 of James Lowe with that big lead. But Davis trying to do all he can to get around Feimster, dives down low, and he's going to get that position, but he slides up, and that's going to be the switchback that Feimster needed. Comes across the line, takes back that second place. Oh, look who's joined us. It's our defending series champion.
Yep, Kurt Smith. I mean, reservation for 3 here. This podium is not decided, and these guys are throwing haymakers. Davis for the bottom. One more time, aggressive slide job. Kyle looking for the over-under. Davis at the line here. Oh, tried to turn down. Kyle said, no, I'm going to drive in here in the middle. I'm going to put you up against the outside wall, and they're using each other up.
Using each other up faster than equipment. Look at who's sideways a little bit. It's Chris Davis as he goes high into the wall. Here we go, 3 wide, and look at that. That was a questionable move. Caution is out. We're going to have to see the replay on that one because I don't like the looks of that. As we see Mr. Aggressive going high, comes down low, and maybe an onboard might change my mind, but I'm reserving judgment here. I don't think. I hope that there's some last-minute deals that Mr. Aggressive can get on flights and all-inclusive hotel, because he might be on a vacation here shortly.
Yeah, you know, and I look, I'm the first person to be that hothead guy and get mad when I'm in the race car, but Chris has to realize that, you know, he wasn't entitled to that middle line of the track. Feimster was there, and I know they were leaning on each other a little bit, but you can see there from that onward, Davis had plenty of room. I mean, he had plenty of room. He comes down. That's going to be a tough one for the fourth.
Ooh, yeah, you know, and that view kind of solidifies what I was thinking originally. Unfortunately, takes out Kurt Smith with him, and ooh, that, yeah. All right, let's dial up the caveman Trey Bloom. Trey Bloom now up 10 spots to 4th place, and make sure that he has a can see light. Hey Trey, it's Jeremy and Zach up in the booth. I'm not going to ask you anything Soup Strange does, but first of all, great run for you so far.
Thanks. Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember running this track, but I like it. There's lanes everywhere, and I'm just trying to claw my way up here.
Did you save yourself enough grip here, Caveman? Can you get on that podium?
We're just gonna have to run it. I got the warning already, so I put all the brake bias up front, and we're gonna run as hard as we can.
All right, go get them. We'll see you in a bit.
All right, thank you guys.
Also during that little ta-ta-ta, double deuce up to 3rd place. So we've got some fast drivers up at the front. James Lowe, Chris Davis in row 1, double deuce Bruce, and the Caveman in row 2. Pace car pulls off, and we're just about set to go back to green flag racing with just a handful of laps left. And of course, remember, we only have 1 attempt at a green-white checker should we need it. Green flag is out. Once again, James Lowe does the right thing. Gets several car lengths up front of Chris Davis. Here comes Bruce Pearson up down low around the inside of Trey Bloom. But Trey Bloom gets the advantage coming off of turn number 2.
Yeah, I think the Caveman where you want to be here on the outside on this restart. He's going to move himself into that bottom step of the podium, but it's not going to be over for him yet here. Looky who else is there. Here comes Todd Liston.
Yeah, Liston with a great showing tonight as he makes his way up to 4th spot. But Lowe, Davis, and Bloom, 1, 2, 3, they've opened up a gap. But however, I'm waiting to see if Bruce Pearson can get that double deuce back warmed up. However, Liston has something there for the bottom step of the podium. Holy cow, a little bit of bumping and rubbing there. Here comes the Canadian Goose.
Yeah, I think we've all been there. I think Bruce was looking in that mirror, trying to defend from the Goose. Forgot all about Liston, made a little contact, and now you see Bruce gonna have to go back down to the bottom. Nope, falls back in line, and the car behind Bruce gets in the outside wall. I think that's the quiet man. Caution flag.
Yep, there we are back under yellow. A couple of cars falling down. It's Mike Holloway, one of those cars involved in that incident. As we take a look at the replay, not sure what happened there. It looks like just got up in the marbles, and that was that.
Yeah, I think, it all kind of reacts from, and it's definitely nothing the double deuce did, but I think guys thought he was going to go low. And then when he kind of made that reaction move to come back up high, we'll kind of see everything check up behind. I think it throws off the 70. You see overdrives. Allen checks up, and it's just, I mean, it's literally, that's your highway car accident there, Jeremy.
I would know that. I've seen it from the sky, so I know what we're talking about. We're not going to go to anybody this yellow, but want to give a quick shout out to Joe Segala. He's back home after surgery, so hopefully we'll see him back out there on the circuit sooner rather than later. We miss you, Kingpin, and hope you're doing well, my friend. All right,
So we should have a green white checkered here, I'm thinking, Jeremy, right?
Well, let's see what happens. Let's see what the pace car comes off. Yeah, we're going to have a green-white checker. So one attempt at the green-white checker. Let's see the rules that the boss man has given us. One attempt at a green-white checker. Of course, the leader still controls the starts and restarts in turn 4 and has the lane choice. So when we come back around, if we get one to go, it'll definitely be a green-white checker flag.
Got to think here. Does James have any friends? Does that deter what line he chooses? Maybe gonna help out the caveman or help out Todd Liston here. He's gonna go to the bottom. Not gonna change it up.
Lights out on the pace car. Yeah, James Lowe, whatever works for Lowe, that's what he's going to do. So no surprise that he takes the bottom, but here's the question. We saw how aggressive Chris Davis was earlier on in the race. Does he continue that aggression, or is he just a sitting duck for James Lowe? That's what we're about to find out. Pace car pulls off into the pit entry. It's Chris Davis on the outside. James Lowe, though, your leader on the inside. It's his restart to call. They come around turns 3 and 4 across the restart zone. Green flag is out. Nice jump there. Alan Wanamaker checking things up just a little bit. We've got 2 laps to go as Lowe, here comes Mr. Aggressive, close to the inside.
Yeah, he went down there to defend here from the caveman, and all of a sudden that opened the door. Here comes Todd Liston battling for that final podium spot. Jeremy, as we roll out a 4, white flag.
White flag is out for James Lowe. I'm wondering if Chris Davis has anything for James Lowe. If he's just going to send it here in the final corner, and he's too far away to make anything happen, but stranger things have happened. He will not send it into 3 and 4 here. It's just a matter of can Trey Bloom stay high and get 3rd place. Checker flag is out. James Lowe is 3 for 3 on the season. Chris Davis 2nd. Trey Bloom in 3rd.
Man, what more can you ask for here? We got our long green flag run. I mean, 60-some laps, I would say, maybe 70. And then we get some action there at the end, get a little green-white checkered. I mean, that's what it's all about.
Well, that's racing. I love every second of it. James Lowe's your winner for the 3rd time this season, and we're going to step aside before we put a lock on the gate here at Irwindale Speedway. We'll talk to your top 3 here on the Virtual Grip Network. Well, Zach, I'm not saying this because Soup isn't here tonight, but that was easily one of my top 5 favorite races I've ever called here on VGN.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of expected there to be two lines, and to say the least, sometimes there was three, Jeremy. I mean, these guys were using up every inch. They dived to the bottom of the apron in 3 and 4. I mean, every inch of asphalt was touched here tonight. If you didn't see a good show, then we'll get your eyes checked.
Well, let's take a look at our finishing order. I'll take the top 10. I'll give you the rest. James Lowe, once again, puts on a clinic. He wins over Chris Davis and Trey Bloom, rounding out your podium. Todd Liston and John Wilson take over your top 5. Then it's Bruce Pearson, Alan Wanamaker, Benny Ellison, Ruben Altice, and Jeffrey Kemper.
The back half of the field, Steve Hilbert coming home 11th. Ahead of brother Tom Hilbert, 12th, Mike Holloway 13th, Kurt Smith 14th. The young gun, Aiden Young, 15th. The Lipper, Chris Hazlip, 16th. Jeffrey Harden, 17th. And Heartbreak for Kyle Feemster, bringing home 18th. And the shoe, Adam Shane, rounding out the field.
Well, next week we'll have front row of Mike Holloway and Tom Hilbert. Yeah, what could have been for Kyle Feemster. Of course, we can't say that about our winner, James Lowe. Once again, 3 for 3, takes a bigger chunk into the points lead. And he joins us here on the Virtual Grip Network. And James, I've got to say this, I go away for a week, you still win. I come back and you win. So we know the X Factor isn't me.
Yes, that was a fun race, man, especially there with Bruce and Kyle. That was a real fun battle there for a while. And just a real fun track tonight. You had to run it really safe because the tires were an issue. And yeah, managed to save and run my fast lap on 101, so not too bad.
I was going to say, yeah, 18.077 was your fastest lap of the race. We're talking to Trey Bloom on that final caution, and he even said that he got the tire warning. It seems like that the tires went away a little bit earlier than what we normally see, especially if you're running more aggressive than normal.
Yeah, I saw a lot of aggressive driving going on, and I was just kind of taking my time going through there, saving as much as I could. And at the end, tires weren't an issue for me, but I know a lot of guys were having some issues.
3 for 3 so far on the season. You think you got it in you for 4 for 4?
We're gonna give it our best shot. Can only see what happens in the race, but we'll be up there trying anyway.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Yeah, you made it entertaining tonight. Congratulations. Anyone you want to thank?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, my Aunt Mary Alice and my buddy Chris, who's always in here watching. You guys for broadcasting. You always put on a great show. I can't wait to watch it back.
James Lowe, congratulations. Hopefully you like the intro. I came up with it in 5 minutes.
Thanks, guys.
James Lowe, your winner, can extend his points lead. Well, good luck, Zach.
I got the man coming home, P2 here, Chris Davis. Shaggy up in the booth. You got a copy?
I do, Shaggy. How are you, my friend?
Oh, pretty good, man. Not sitting as pretty as you. P2 tonight. After a long green flag run, you get to a battle for second. And, well, the fireworks went off, man. Talk to us about it.
Yeah, I think Kyle's name. I think I don't think he's happy, but I think there's always tight racing, and I like to go back and look at the replay and look at a body of the work, not just a moment in time, because there can be a lot more to a story when you look at multiple laps leading up to an incident. You know what? I hate contact that wrecks anyone, most especially because I think it ended up collecting Kurt Smith as well. And Kurt is a class act, would never call anyone out or anything like that. And so I feel bad really for Kurt more than anything else.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, you're going to have hard racing when we're short tracking. And, coming up to the green, white checkered, were you worried you didn't have enough tire left to hold off Trey and Liston, or did you know you'd have enough to bring home P2?
Worried to be an understatement. Green, white checkered at Irwindale is always a bit of a crapshoot because people are going to throw basically the equivalent of a slider, just like how I was trying to get around Kyle a couple of times there, and it kills you right front to do it. And I had done it already a few times that even immediately on the restart, my crew chief said, mind the right front. And James Lowe, I think, ripped the fastest lap of his race on the last lap. So, as much as I tried to save my tires, and thought that Lowe might have burned his up with how hard he was working to get and stay up front. I was wrong.
Well, at the end of the day, 100 laps, man, here at Irwindale, not an easy task. And to come home with P2, Chris, that's a pretty good run. You got anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, absolutely. I always want to thank you guys up in the booth. Lowell for putting on such a great league. He does a phenomenal job of making sure that people remain respectful. So I'm sure he'll have some thoughts on some comments later. But beyond that, yeah, the people I want to thank also would be Inventex.ai, Brigade Legal. They helped me out with my Chevrolet here tonight to bring it home in P2. I'm going to hopefully be here for the whole season and try and make a run and see if someone other than James Lowe can win a championship here in these cars. So that's what I have. Want to thank you guys again, and hopefully I'll see you up in the booth next week as well. Inventex, protect your tech.
Well, hey, Soupy will be back next week, but good luck, Chris. I'll be rooting for you. I think we've got a third place finisher ready to roll on up here, Jeremy.
Yeah, we got the third place finisher. I felt like I was watching a pro interview. Good job. Trey Bloom, we talked to you earlier. First of all, congratulations on third place. Looked like that you tried to get up to second place, but didn't have anything at the end.
Yeah, I think actually I think with a few more laps that I could have gotten into second and maybe challenged Low a little bit. I was feeling pretty good towards the end there, even though I looked at my tires and I feel like they need to make the tire warning a little bit lower because I'd still had 40% and I felt fine. So I think they need to drop that down to like 30 or 20 or something, so I'm not worried about it.
Well, first, looks like it was your first race of the season, so third place, really not too bad. And it sounds like a lot of the drivers were saying the same thing because it seemed like that, with 60 laps to go, as I moved through my computer, Kyle Feemster started falling off like a rock. And as we know, once that happens, it's basically game over.
Yeah, and I think I had a little bit of an advantage since I hadn't started yet this season. I started 14th, I think. So I kind of was a little bit slow and trying to save stuff in the beginning there for a while, and then if an opportunity presented itself, I made the pass. But then I just tried to race as hard as I could towards the end there.
Yeah, nonetheless, all right, so I'm gonna put my soup hat on. We got any cool projects the rest of the year? For you miss the races?
Yeah, I'll miss next week. Our elk hunting season opens up next week, so I'm gonna be out for a week. But no cool projects. I've had a little bit of I've had a machine that's being picky at work, so I've been trying to figure that out. But Soup's probably gonna be sad to be here. This is the first race after my marriage this last weekend, so I got to give a shout out to the wife. First podium with a new wife, so it's good last week.
Well, congratulations. I did forget about that because I was at my a family wedding myself that I don't remember too much. Never. We'll go down that road. But I've got to get your address for elk jerky then at some point.
Oh yeah. I'll have if everything goes to plan, my whole hunting party will have a lot of elk.
Oh, that sounds good. Trey Bloom, the caveman, finishing off in third spot. Congratulations.
All right, thank you guys.
Well, that race
The
had
caveman,
everything to. Go ahead.
Sorry, Jeremy, but have the caveman, does he use a spear to go elk hunting?
Yeah, it's a bow and arrow and everything. It's a complicated situation. But Zach, thanks for joining me tonight. It was an absolute blast having you alongside, and great to have the insight as well.
Well, hey, I appreciate you guys having me. I mean, there's some tracks, let's be honest. Maybe I would have been like, oh man, sure I have to do this, but Irwindale, I put on a great show, and man, I'd love to come back anytime. Great job.
Well, we'll have to get Soup 6 sometime and have you show up. All right, tomorrow night it's Talladega Speedway. The Yesteryear Cup Racing Series launches at 8 p.m. Eastern. Yesteryear kicks off at Martinsville on Tuesday. Also, the 28th is Yesteryear IROC from Thompson Speedway. We're back next week a little further east at the Bull Ring at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, 9:15 p.m. Eastern. I'll have Soup with me next week. And also, VGN Weekly is every Tuesday at 9 a.m. Eastern on the Virtual Grip Network's YouTube page. For my partner this week, Zach Shaggy Chapman, and the man who makes us sound good, it's Boss Man, Lowell Jewell. My name is Jeremy Gridlock Scott. Remember to keep it pointed forward, keep it between the ditches, and always keep it greasy side down. We'll see you next week here on the Virtual Grip Network.